Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Let's do this. Can Kaye Scott win? It's fight week. Can Kaye Scott win? Let's be real, man. Now, I'm fair when it comes to this boxing shit. And I am rooting for Kaye Scott because I don't like the way she's been treated, man. The promotion has been all about Claressa. They haven't said anything really about Kaye Scott. They've totally disrespected her, dismissed her because, hey, look, we talking about boxing now. Her champion don't have time to joke and play. They picked her so Claressa Shields could get an easy victory. They picked her so Claressa Shields could come and knock her out. You know what I'm saying? And that's just being real. I'm not here to try to make up some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, that's what I feel. Now, as far as y'all out there saying, nah, Hood, that's not what's going on. I mean, well, then you tell me what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking a look at Kaye Scott, and don't get me. Let me do something here. She's in great shape, but they really try to size her up for the okie doke here, man. And as a result, a lot of us are rooting for her to pull it off. But can she do it? I don't know, man. Let me do it there. I don't know. Because she hasn't really given us much. I don't know what really is going on out there in Australia. I know she's working on a jab. I know she's in great condition. I know she's working on her footwork. And she's looking to get inside that ring and basically, outwork Claressa Shields, survive that early rush from Big Gwoat, and come out here and make a name for herself in the United States. But the sad thing is, she hasn't been properly promoted. Claressa is coming all the way down to 160 for a reason. It's not for no effing titles. You know what I mean? She's coming down, and this is my opinion, because she really wants to try to outperform the other women in boxing who have big names, who are knocking people down and knocking people out. So she picked someone who she already has sparred with, and that's why Claressa is saying that she knows she can get to Kaye Scott because they spent time in the ring. Now, it doesn't mean Kaye Scott hasn't gotten better. So this shit could blow up in Claressa Shields' face. You know what I mean? Just being real with you. This could be all bad for Claressa. But at the same time, you haven't seen Claressa in too many fights where things have gone all bad. You've seen her get clipped by Hannah Gabriels. You've seen her get in fights where she had to dig deep against Savannah Marshall. But for the most part, Claressa's always up and away when she gets into that ring. But I'm just asking a question, man. I'm watching Kaye Scott here. I'm looking at the footwork. I'm looking at her doing the combinations. I'm looking at the feints. I'm looking at her. And again, this is just shadow boxing. She's just moving around. You know what I mean? People look at this and say, oh, God, this ain't it. She doesn't have footwork. She's not going to do anything. Well, when I look at it, I see someone shadow boxing. I see someone doing what it's supposed to. I see somebody using that long reach, that footwork, angles, you know what I'm saying? Doubling up the goddamn power hand. I see the jab upstairs, downstairs, and someone who's just basically, man, just working. And you can tell the way she's dressed, she's doing this just for the camera. But don't for a second think that you look at this and this is how she's going to perform in the ring. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't expect her to come in there and float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. That's not her. But I don't expect her to get blasted out of there in the first round. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? Now, the real conversation is after Kaye Scott and Claressa Shields fights, depending on who wins, most of us feel Claressa's going to win. Doesn't mean that she does. Claressa's already put duck sauce on the fried rice and saying how Tam DeBow, the Canadian, right, who got put on everyone's radar this past weekend, Claressa's already saying that she is too green. Doesn't make sense for Claressa to fight her. But the crazy shit is, Tam DeBow has five wins. She's the IBF and WBO champion at middleweight. Kaye Scott's a WBA and WBC. So if Claressa beats Kaye Scott, why not stay at 160 and fight Tam DeBow? I'll tell you why not, because she knows Tam DeBow has been to the Olympics twice. She's very accomplished as an amateur, and Tam DeBow is the real deal. She's 6 feet tall, southpaw style. Claressa Shields is putting duck sauce on the fried rice. Yeah, I said it. Because the plan should be come down, fight Kaye Scott. If she beats Kaye Scott, go fight Tam DeBow. But I tell you what, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her name. Kaye Scott, if Kaye Scott just happens to land a shot from the gods and drop Claressa and win by knockout or decision, right? I tell you what Kaye Scott would do. She would go and become undisputed at 160. She would take her WBA and WBC straps and she would go fight Tam DeBow. But Claressa's already putting duck sauce on the fried rice. And my thing is, why not fight Tam DeBow? Why are you fighting Kaye Scott? Talking about Tam, she only has 5 fights. Kaye Scott has 5 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. So what are you doing? And she has no knockouts. So I know what she's doing. She's putting duck sauce on the fried rice. So she'll fight Kaye Scott, but she won't go and fight Tam. That's wild to me. You know what I'm saying? That is absolutely wild to me. Ridiculous. Kaye Scott look like she ain't living her best life right now. So on her way to the States, she should be here now. It's fight week. They look like family. The one on the to her right look like family. The one on the left, I don't know who that is. But she put that work in, man. She put that work in. But I just want to know what happens when she gets hit. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing that people aren't really talking about, and this is the fight card. The other thing people aren't really talking about, man, is the fact that Kaye Scott, I brought it up, and other people, they heard me talk about it when this first got announced in the video I dropped, and then other people have talked about it since. But this thing about Kaye Scott and having the emergency CAT scan on her skull and brain a couple of years ago, I just want to make this clear. She has rebounded and she became a champion, so she should be okay. But again, if you're someone like Claressa Shields, why and you're her team, why would you sit there and be okay with having someone who's supposed to be the greatest woman of all time come down to 160 and fight an opponent who's in her 40s with 5 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, and who had an emergency CAT scan? So if you're trying to sell us on Claressa Shields, the big GOAT, and how great she is, why wouldn't you have had her fight Sarah Sherridge? Why wouldn't you have her fight somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we would have been cool in a rematch with Lanai Daniels because Lanai Daniels did beat Shanae Shagrin. You know what I'm saying? So Claressa can say what she wants. Her team can say what she wants. Yeah, I give her credit for coming down to 160. But until she hits that scale at 160, I really don't have too much to say because I'm not really convinced that she's going to be there at 160. We know Kaye Scott, look at her. She look good. She's going to be at 160. She walks around probably close to weight. She's just someone who stays in shape. Look at it. Even look at her working out. You don't ever see Claressa Shields in the gym looking like this. When she hits the mitts, it's pretty cool, but anybody can look good on mitts. So I'm just saying, man, this is a cherry pick that could go wrong. I just hope Kaye Scott is in tremendous shape. You know what I mean? Because we don't need Claressa effectively cutting the ring off and now Kaye Scott burning up valuable energy. She need to move around, force Claressa to chase her to where now Claressa is using up valuable energy. And the other thing people are bringing up, Kaye Scott and being an OnlyFans model. Look, she can do what she wants. She was doing it before this fight was announced, so no need for her to stop doing it. But I would hope that she wasn't putting a lot of time and energy into the OnlyFans thing the way Claressa does with YouTube and everything else and going viral. Because then they kind of cancel each other out as far as what I was feeling that Kaye Scott was closing the talent gap because she seems to be locked in training and Claressa seems to be not taking the fight serious. If Kaye Scott was putting an equal amount of time and energy into doing videos for OnlyFans, well, that makes her no different from Claressa Shields. If that's the case, Claressa going to blast her about the ring. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know that to be true because I'm not on OnlyFans and I have no idea what kind of content she posts. But I'm sure some of y'all freaky deakies out there that went and looked at the shit. But what I can tell you is Kaye Scott looks to be in a tremendous shape. I think she's taking the fight serious. But the real question is, can she win? Round after round after round, can she win? You know what I mean? She just got to repeat speed, speed. That's what you're gonna need to beat Claressa. You know what I'm saying? And people are saying, you know, you need speed to beat K. Scott. Man, shit, not necessarily. If K. Scott is slow, you don't need that speed. You just need some IQ, timing, and then you'll be okay. But K. Scott is tall and long. I just hope she's worked on her speed. I hope she's worked on her speed. Because if she can shoot that jab out there, man, and then blind Claressa, and sometimes that jab is not even a hurt. You got to mix it up. Mix up the intentions. You know what I mean? Stiff jab to hurt her, couple for speed to blind her, boom, bring the right hand behind. Give Claressa more than one thing to worry about. Because I'll tell you right now, if Claressa Shields has nothing to worry about, K. Scott going to be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because she looks the part. But if she's not giving Claressa something to worry about, K. Scott's going to be in trouble. And that's why I think K. Scott's taking the fight serious. Because she says, look, Claressa's incredibly talented. But knowing I've landed shots on her before gives me confidence. If I bring my best A game, she's beatable. That is what the people want to hear. Unified WBA and WBC middleweight champion. Locked in Australia, man, ready to defend them titles in Atlanta against the Gwoat. Man, please. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm just being real with you. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what, boy, she got her hands full. Because Claressa Shields is a machine. She is a monster. But she's doing the business, and she's looking forward to getting in that ring. And she got all the confidence in the world. Got a family supporting her. She's not coming out here to lose. But her promoter may be setting her ass up because they sure as hell don't seem to be showing her the love that she deserves. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's just me talking. That's just my opinion. Because Lord have mercy, they really ain't said nothing about her. So anyway, good luck to K. Scott. Hope she can do the business. But if she didn't train, it doesn't matter. You know, if she didn't train properly, it doesn't matter. But she tells everybody, look, I worry about me. She can overestimate or underestimate me. It doesn't make a difference to my preparation camp. And that's what the people want to hear. That Kaye Scott is locked in, she's focused, and she's ready to do the business. She is ready to do the business. That being said, Kaye Scott's out here. We're going to see if she's more boxer than OnlyFans model. And she gets an opportunity to prove to everybody what she's really about. And there's a lot of people out here hoping that she locked in training camp and can do the business. Because they want big Gwoat. Shut up. But I'm going to tell you right now, Kaye Scott, if she's not locked in, and she didn't dial in during camp, it doesn't matter what anybody wishes and hopes. She ain't going to beat Claressa. That being said, y'all keep cool. And Charleston White, you can get out of here with that dark skin, light skin nonsense. Nobody want to hear that at all. And I really think they paid that dude to say something like that. Nobody want to hear anything about color. We too far beyond that. Get out of here with that bullshit. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.